All right, the next concept that we're going to talk about that can affect the weather is air masses, which is an interesting concept because we're talking about big groups of air and what do they do to weather. So you're going to be taking notes on your air masses page of your note packet. So please make sure that you'll be filling this out as we go along. In this section here, you'll be circling one or the other, and down below you'll be doing some labeling and filling in some blanks up here. All right. So what is an air mass? It's a large body of air that has the same temperature and moisture properties throughout the whole air mass. So it can be dry, it can be hot, it can be cold, etc. Those sort of things. So how does this happen? Well, most air masses form over large flat areas, and the air stays there long enough to absorb the properties of the area that it forms above. So we can think about it. If it's forming above the ocean, it's probably going to be wet. If it's forming above land, it's going to be dry. If it's forming above an area that's cold, it's going to be cold. So those sort of things. And then if those air masses then move into an area, then they're going to bring those properties of moisture and of temperature into that area. Okay. So for example, the maritime polar, that would be an area that's over the ocean, that's over the cold ocean. So these are going to be cold and humid. The maritime tropical, difference being is it's over the ocean and it's going to be warm. Then we have the continental tropical, and that's going to be over land, so it'll be dry, and it's in the south, so it's hot. Then we have the continental Arctic, and that is very cold and dry because it forms over ice, basically, which you're thinking is water, but doesn't release any water into the atmosphere, really. And then we have the continental polar, which is going to be dry and cold. So the continental polar and the continental Arctic, those are the two air masses that move into Montana when it gets really cold in the winter. And then any of the maritime tropical or the maritime polar, those are the ones that can bring moisture in that leads to snow and rain, etc. in Montana. Okay, so today you're going to do an assignment where you're going to look at different air masses and taking into consideration their properties and what properties they're moving into an area and what happens when air masses meet to produce different types of weather. Good luck with that.